If your enemies just stand there until you go right in front of them, they do not feel smart, they feel scripted. In this video I'm going to show you how you can add a simple investigate system for your enemy AIs so that you can go ahead and make a sound, they will go to investigate and then they can see you and finally attack you. It is so quick and it makes your AI 10 times smarter. It's going to be very easy to follow, so let's get started. So right now I have this default level with an enemy AI. Now this enemy AI only has this following code, which is basically to chase the player, and I will basically just call this whenever the AI spots the player. But of course, first of all, we need to make sure that this enemy can hear a sound. It will go to investigate, and then once it actually sees the player, it will go into this state over here, right? So first things first, we need to make the enemy wander around, because right now he's just standing still, and we need a sort of patrol. So let's open the enemy AI, let's right click over here and create a new custom event, and let's call this patrol. And then what we can do with this patrol is just basically find a random point in their nearby location and just go into it in a loop. So we can just do a AI move to, and then obviously the AI that will move will be self, right? And then with that said, the destination will be a get random point enrichable radius, okay? And this node just gets a random point in an area based on an origin point. And the origin will be where the actor is right now, so we can use the get actor location. And now we need a radius, so how far away can this point, be? And let's do like, I don't know, like 2,000. Just walk in for a bit. Perfect. So with that said, on the success, we will go ahead and add a delay of just 1 second. So he will be just 1 second standing still, and then he will go and patrol again. And this will be basically a loop. And if the thing fails, we'll just directly go into patrolling so he can find another route that he can go into. And that's it. Now we obviously just need to call this patrol on the begin play, so he will start with this state, because otherwise if we never call patrol, we will never go into the patrolling state. So let's go and add a begin play right over here, and we can add the patrol. Perfect. And this means that if we press play, he starts walking around the level, right? He finds a point, waits 1 second, continues to walk. Perfect. Now what I mentioned that you need to add a nav mesh bounce volume into a level, and this basically enables the AI to move around. If you do not have this in the level, you will not be able to make your enemy move around, okay? Now in order to add it, you can just go into the quickly add to the project section, go to volumes and drag it, okay? And just make sure that it fills the whole world. Perfect. So now we need to make sure that the player can make a sound and the AI will go to investigate. So I'm gonna go right over here into the third person folder and open the blueprints, and we can see that we have just the default stuff. So I want to go ahead and make a sound when I press a certain key, for example the left mouse button. Now obviously this is just a bit to test, otherwise you could make it so that it plays a sound whenever, I don't know, you trip or the player attacks or whatever, right? Obviously this is just for testing. So we could use one thing called the noise system of Unreal Engine's AI, where we have a node to make a noise, as you can see, but you see we have limited customization if we use that node, and it's actually a bit more complex to set up, which I think is not needed. So what we can do is make our own system by just simply making a sphere trace by channel or for objects. In this case, let's make 4 objects, okay? So a sphere trace is basically an invisible sphere that will have a certain radius in a specific location, right? So we can make a radio around our player, and if the enemy is kind of nearby, he will hear the sound or not. So the start will be the get actor location of the player, and the end will be also the same, because it will be simply sphere. Now this will have a radius of around 3,500, because we want to make sure that it's heard from a distance. And then we need to get the object types and make an array An array is basically a list in Unreal Engine, and we want to make sure that we select pawn, because you see in Unreal Engine, AIs and enemies and players and basically characters are all of type pawn. So that's why we want to make sure that pawns are the ones that can hear this. And then we can do this for a duration, so we can preview how big our sphere trace is and just kind of customize it and see if we need to make the radius a bit bigger or smaller. Perfect. And also want to mention that we are making this in the third person character, not in the enemy, okay? Because we want to make this in the third person character, well, because that's where we make the sound. That's when we, press the left mouse button and so on. And then of course, if we detect something, okay, we can get the hit result and break it. And this node basically gives us all of the information about what we, detected. And in this case, we want to get a hit actor and cast to the enemy blueprint. And the enemy blueprint now can execute something that is built inside. Now, we will not use a cast node in a second. We will switch it into an interface because we want to make sure that the code is modular and that we can expand this in the long term. Because maybe you don't only want to go ahead and, make sure that the enemy can hear it, but maybe also there's another NPC that is a different blueprint class that can hear it. And making an interface will make things easier, and you will see I won't make it in a second. But let's actually test this. So if I press play and I left click, you can see this huge sphere around it. Now I think I went too crazy with the distance. This is absolutely huge, so maybe we can put this amount. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, even yeah, that's better. Okay, perfect. And now with that said, the enemy will be able to hear us, but we need to create the interface. So let's go into the content browser, just right click and create a new blueprint. This will be called BPI underscore, and let's do like here or something, whatever, right? So now on the enemy, we need to go into the class settings and add this new this new interface, so the enemy will have it. And then we can go into the character and do a here. And yes, I'm stupid because obviously we still haven't created the function, so we need to open it and do here make noise or hear noise. Perfect. And now this means that in the player, when we detect the hit actor, we can make a noise, but obviously not through the AI default node. We want to make it through our interface, and it should actually appear right over here. Oh, it's hear noise, not make noise. Okay, so it's hear noise. There we go, perfect. It's the one that says message. And now, whoever, right, is inside of this sphere trace will execute hear noise. And now on the enemy, because we have the interface, so we need to compile, we can double click and do something where we hear a noise. And what will we do? We'll investigate at that specific point. So we want to do an AI move to, and we want to move this enemy into a specific destination. And this destination will be where the sound was produced. So we need to pass that as a parameter. So I'm going to go right over here into the interface, and we can have an input, and this will be the location. As simple as that. And now we can put this as a vector, and now on the player we can say that this will be the get actor location. Perfect. And on the enemy we have now, as you can see, the location that we can plug in. And now we can just go into that destination, and he will wait a couple of seconds, and then if nothing happens, you'll go back to patrol. As simple as that. But if he sees the player in between, he will do it. But still, we haven't made it so that the enemy can see the player. So now, okay, I clicked, wait. So now the enemy is wandering, but if I click, as you can see, he heard the sound, which is up there. So he's actually going, but you see, we made a mistake, and the location is actually not being fed through. So if I, yeah, there you go, perfect, reaches here. But you see, sometimes he continues with the patrolling, and this is because we need to stop the patrolling, because as you can see we have a loop. So how can we stop this? Well, very simple, we can just add a little branch over here. So we can just add a branch, right? And obviously this other pin will also go here, and this will be not a macro variable, is called can patrol. And obviously this will be enabled by default, but when he hears a noise, we will go ahead and disable it so that he cannot patrol anymore, and we don't interrupt our sequence. So now he hears the sound, he goes. I can do this again, I can do this again, and you see now it's actually working. Now there's one thing over here, which is the patrol after the 5 seconds. We only need to do this if we can patrol, and we'll set patrol that we can patrol right here to true when he reaches the destination. And then another thing that we want to make sure is that the enemy sees the player, because right now he doesn't see the player. So let's go back to here and let's add one thing to the enemy, which is going to be a component, which is the pawn sensing component. And this enables the AI to basically see the player and also hear it using the AI system. But like I mentioned before, we are not using the built-in hearing system because we built our own, so we have more flexibility. So hearing threshold, you just put this to 0. The same with the LOS hearing, RO 0. Then sight radius is how far can the AI see you. Let's do like 3500 or even 2500, so you know it's not so hard. Then the interval, we can leave it like this. Hearing age, just put this to 0, and then we can disable hear noises, and that's pretty much it. So now we can also change the angle to be like 85 and whatever. So on C player, we can do the chase player that I built, and the chase player is the one that goes to the player location and attacks. So right now, okay, he's wondering, he saw me and he goes and attacks me, right? But you see, that's just because he saw me. But if I manage to hide over here, right, he hasn't seen me, I can make the sound. I can make the sound, now he's coming to the sound. And, okay, so he saw me. Let's make it a bit harder by, yeah, see, hear the sound, and he sees me, so he's coming. So basically, in other words, now it is working. But obviously he's seeing me from a great distance, so I'm gonna do an adjustment on the pawn sensing. I'm gonna basically set the sight radius to be like 500 and be like very concise. So only like until, let's do even shorter, like 300. So this means that I can do a noise right here. Okay, he heard the noise is coming, and then he can see me, and then he goes and attacks me. So it's working, right? We created a super smart enemy AI that will patrol, he will hear a sound, he will go to investigate, and also on top of that, go ahead and, you know, chase the player. But you see, let's do one last thing, which is gonna make it 10 times better. It's gonna be just adding a little icon over here on the top, which is like, you know, like an exclamation mark, like, or you know, an interrogation mark, like what's going on. So on the enemy, basically go to the capsule and just add a text render, because this will be in 3D. And what we can do is set this text to be the question mark or whatever you want it to be, and then we can simply just put it over the head, right? And we can just make it a bit bigger. So we can just put this to be like 2. you know, and then we can make sure that this is centered. Perfect. And on top of that, we might need to make sure that this is always facing the player, because otherwise, you know, it will be like flat if the player is like behind, right? So let's go to the construction script, which is also executed whenever we are in the editor, and let's basically get the text renderer and set the world rotation. And this world rotation will be always facing the camera. So we can do this find look at rotation, and we can find the rotation between two, you know, locations. So the start will be, well, the text render world location, and the target will be the camera manager, the get camera. Oh, maybe on the construction script we do not have access to the camera. Yes, so we actually need to do this on the event graph. So just add an event tick over here and paste this on, okay? So in order to access a certain node, we need to do this on the event graph, which is gonna be the get camera manager. Perfect. And then we can get the world location of this camera, and the question mark will always look at the player. And now with that said, we just need to make sure that it's not always active, because otherwise, you know, it will always be like with this symbol on the head. So we're gonna go ahead and just make sure that by default the visibility is disabled so the player cannot see it. But then on the event graph, whenever he actually spots the noise, not the player, but here's the noise, right? We want to go ahead and enable this. So the text render will be set visibility, and quite obviously this will be true, as I just mentioned. And then we want to disable it whenever he goes into patrolling right here. So let's disable this, or he goes ahead and attacks the player. So this will be in the chase player. Yeah, perfect. Disable this. So now he saw me. We're here. Play sound. He's interrogating. Now he saw me, and then he's coming, and that's it. So that's it. We made a very smart enemy AI with every simple state that we wanted to implement, and even with a question mark on his head, so we have this feedback like in this AAA games that he spotted because he heard that sound. So if you want my full method to learn Unreal Engine 5, master the engine, and be able to create any game that you want, make sure to watch this video next. Now yes, with all that said, bye.